As a marketer, I used to wake up and dive straight into chaos. Emails, Slack pings, campaign fires, client check-ins, and by 11 a.m. I was already tired. Not from the work, but from decision what to do next. It felt like my brain was constantly buffering. There was no space to think, no clarity to create, just noise. Let's be honest, marketing is messy. There are endless moving parts. Strategy, content, analytics, ads, client communication, gazillion of tools. Most of us jingle it all using memory, instinct, and caffeine. James Clear said, "You do not rise to the level of goals, you fall to the level of your system. Without system, every day becomes a new decision. What should I work on first? Where is that campaign brief? Did I follow up with that lead? It's mental death by thousand taps." So I asked myself, what if I could make my brain do less thinking about the work and more on doing of the work? That's when I started building system. A system isn't a tool. It's a repeated process. Something that works without your constant attention. Think of it like this. If your brain is your laptop, a system is like an automation or shortcut that runs on a startup. You don't need to click anything. It just works in background. Now take some simple examples of marketing system. A Monday morning checklist that reminds you what to do before starting work. A Notion dashboard that shows you your week at a glance. A Canva template set for creating 30 reels in one sitting. A Google Sheet with formulas that turns raw campaign data into a readable report. It's not fancy, but it's functional. That's the most important part. It's functional. Here are the exact systems I built that gave me clarity, peace, and results. Number one, weekly planning system. 30 minutes every Sunday. I block 30 minutes on Sunday evening to review last week work, what worked and what did not work. I set three key outcome of the week and I block time in my calendar for the next week. Why it worked? By Monday morning, I already know what success looks like. There's no decision fatigue. Let's take an example. I use a simple Notion template with three columns: reflection, priorities, and calendar. I write down last week wins, identify blockers, and highlight three major goals of the week. Let's say finish a content calendar, launch meta ads, and record a video. Then I schedule them directly into my calendar. Second system, the morning launchpad. I don't start my day by checking emails. I start with a checklist. Number one, brain dump. What's on my mind? Number two, priority for today. Number three, energy check. Do I need to adjust anything? Now, why it works? It clears the fog. It gives me control. Now, let's take an example. Some morning, I wake up overwhelmed, thinking of 10 different things. When I sit down, I open my journal or Notion. I just write freely for 5 minutes. Things like follow up with client X, fix landing page header, or even personal things like get groceries. After that, I list the top 3 must-dos for the day and block them. System number 3, client communication template. So I built monthly report template in Google Docs, campaign proposal decks in Canva, email templates for follow-ups, approval, and handover. Now, why it works? You do not need to reinvent the wheel again and again. It saves times, maintain professionalism. For example, earlier I used to spend 1 hour every time I had to send a report. Now I use a Google Doc template. All I do to replace the campaign name, matrices, and insight. For proposals, I have a Canva deck ready. I just plug in brand's specifications. Fourth system I have built, content creation pipeline. Tool I used into this, Notion and Google Calendar. The ideas goes into a single board. Each piece goes through these stages: ideas, research, script, create, publish. Everything is did that. Why it work? I never stayed at a blank page. I always know what's cooking. Let's take an example. Let's say I have an idea how Instagram algorithm actually works. I jot it down under the idea column. A few days later, I move to research where I add links, stats, and notes. Next, it becomes a script. Once I flip it, I mark it publish with the date. The system gives me visibility across the multiple projects. Now, fifth system I have built using ChatGPT for weekly marketing analysis. And this is crazy. It saves tons of hours for me. What I do, I export raw campaign data from Meta Ads, Google Ads, GA4, Google Search Console, and I feed the cleaned up data into ChatGPT with very specific prompt and let ChatGPT help surface actionable insight from the numbers. Now, why it works? Instead of getting lost in spreadsheet, you focus on what the number are trying to tell you. It gives you clarity without the complexity. That's the beauty of it. Now, let's take an example. Every Friday, I export performance data like CTR, CPA, ROAS, and conversion rates into a CSV. Then I paste summaries into ChatGPT and prompt it with something live. Here's my weekly Meta Ads report. Can you tell me which creatives had the best CTR and lowest CPA? Which ad set performed worst and what would you recommend changing next week? In response, ChatGPT gives me something like this. Creative A, video with testimonial, had the highest CTR of 4.2% and the lowest CPA of rupees 98. Creative B, static image with discount, underperformed with a CTR 1.3% and CPA of rupees 245. The audience age 25 to 34 from tier 1's client performed best. Consider pausing ad set 3 and duplicate ad set 2 with a new copy variation. Now, the beauty of this, instead of spending 1-2 hours trying to make sense of numbers, I get clear next step, ready to test by Monday. It's like having a mini marketing analyst who doesn't miss pattern and never gets tired. And he doesn't even have a mood swing. That's the truth. No one tells you. The best systems don't just live on tools, they live in your mindset. I built 3 mental systems. Number 1, the focused workplace rule. As a marketer, we can't avoid switching between platforms. 1 minute we are looking at Google Analytics, the next we are editing creatives in Canva or replying to a brief on Slack. But here's the trick. Instead of multitasking simultaneously, I group similar tasks into focused block of time. How it works? I dedicated 90 minutes just for analytics, all tabs related to data. Later I switch a 90-minute creative blocks, only tools like Canva, Notion or scripting docs. No back and forth between creatives and data during those windows. Now why it works? This reduces context switching, which is what really drains your brain. You're still juggling tasks, but you're doing it in a controlled rhythm, not a chaotic swirl. Let's take an example. On Tuesday, I do campaign analysis from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. I open Google Ads, Meta Ads Manager, GA4 and Looper Studio. That's it. No WhatsApp, no Notion. After lunch, I block 2 to 3 p.m. for scripting next week's video. Completely different mode, separate tabs though. I call it mental zoning. It keeps me focused and fast without sacrificing flexibility. The second system, mental system I built, the 3 outcome per day rule. Each day, I focused on just 3 things that truly matters. If I finish those, my day is up with. Number 3 rule, the breathe before react rule. If I get a stressful brief or an angry email, I don't respond immediately. I walk, I breathe, I respond from clarity, not emotion. Now, the results are my days feel slower, but I get more done. And the best part of it, I enjoy the work. The magic of system isn't in their complexity. It's in the peace they create. When I built this system, I stopped forgetting things. I had space to think. I was more present with my team and client, and I started enjoying marketing again. And the biggest shift, I ending my day with energy instead of exertion. See, the goal is not to constantly productive. The goal is to create a life where you don't need to escape your work to feel alive. If this sounds like a lot, don't worry. I didn't build all this system in a weekend. Start with one question. What's one thing you do every day that drains you? Now, can you create a template, checklist, or workflow to handle it? You will be amazed at how much mental space you free up when your brain isn't the project manager for everything. And if this video helped you breathe a little easier, hit like, share it with someone who's running on mental overdrive, and subscribe for more systems that keep market human. I will see you next Friday. Until then, build system, not stress. Thank you. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. We will meet again.